and I've looked back, and I think I'm pretty sure we may have had a MySpace page. Like, I'm not kidding. That was our first sort of dabble in social media. And I think we opened a Facebook page in like 2009, like a year after we even opened. So looking back, the path that took us to where we're going now, it's been pretty wild. So I first dabbled in going online in 2010. One of the big challenges with having a brick and mortar and online for me, has been inventory management. So I know some of you guys deal with inventory more than others. Definitely in my world, inventory management has been like a big obstacle as far as getting online, being a brick and mortar store. Back in 2010, the technology was not there, especially accessible to small businesses like it is today. So like leaps and bounds have happened. But in 2010, I paid a lot of money for a website that didn't work very well, that would try to talk to the two inventories. And it was like a whole lot of work. And we felt like by the time we got the product up, it was gone in store. And it was just a whole lot of money and effort for something that wasn't lucrative. So that kind of fizzled out, and I went back to just a static informational website that directed customers to our store. And then in 2013, we did our first social selling. Definitely over these years, we became, working towards a stronger presence on social media. So in 2013, we started using a program called Soldsy, where you would just post a picture of a product. It would drop it on your wall on Facebook. Of course, back then there was not so much setbacks with algorithms. I mean, it was kind of like the Wild West, quite a bit different back then. You posted something and it just showed it to everybody and all that good stuff. So we started dropping that. People would comment similar to how we do today on our live sales, the word sold, their size, it would automatically send them an invoice. However, we still struggled with overselling, which is just really frustrating for me as the business owner and the customer. You pay for something, you think you're going to get it. I know we've all had it happen, but we want to limit it as much as possible. So we did have headaches again, because every time we did something online within store, it was two systems talking to each other. And there was just room for error. So that was another big frustration. We did that for quite some time, and we saw a lot of success with it. But we did have the biggest issue then was those headaches with inventory overselling. And then in 2017, I was actually looking to focus. I had kind of two areas of focus. Do we focus on expanding online or open a second store? Business was good. We carried a lot of different product lines. We were kind of busting at the seams as far as our space went. And it almost felt like it was taking away from the experience we wanted to offer. So I also had an amazing team. And we felt like we could take on a sister store where one was focused on fashion and one was a little more focused on gift. And we opened the second store with the mindset that we would put more of those products online, which is what we did. So we opened a second store in 2017 called The Look. Bel's website remained kind of a static, I don't know if that's the right word, but we just directed customers to our website. And then The Look, we started to put online, you could buy the products again. There was more, this is zoom forward 7 to 8 years. There was more capability for doing that. The point of sale system that we were on was called Lightspeed. And they had a website that didn't look as good. So it's they're a point of sale company that added website. Then we had kind of messed with Shopify. I've tried every system. I feel like tried a lot of them. So we switched to Shopify because it is more website focused, but they had point of sale. And then you lost, it was like we were losing features whichever way we went. But I really wanted to be on one system because when they talk to each other, there just were glitches no matter what. I mean, they're meant to work seamlessly, but in reality, they didn't. So we did that, and that was successful, but it was a heavy lift. Bel carried a lot of big brands like Pandora, Alex and Ani. The look had some big brands as well. And when we carried the big brands, they had a lot of requirements, a lot of rules, but a big one was that we couldn't sell online. We were starting to see the online landscape kind of change. The big brands were going online, and we weren't getting all of our product. And they were doing deals we couldn't compete with. There was just a lot of frustrations for me personally. So, or for the business when it came to that. So, with that being said, I decided to move away from the big brands. I really felt that we should create as much as possible an omni-channel experience, not just for the customer to be able to shop online, but I disliked the idea of somebody going on the website and only seeing like a piece of what we had, because so many of us look online and then go shop. It's nice to do both, and we had both platforms available. So I got rid of the big lines that were kind of that heavy lift. I closed the look in 2020. So it was actually like 2019. I think some people think the look might have closed amidst the pandemic, but we discontinued the big brands the end of 2019, closed the look, the second store, in January of 2020. And then we spent January and February trying to get everything that we put under Bel's roof, which was kind of the combination of what we were keeping between the two stores, online. And I don't know who was like, look, I mean, we were so lucky to have had that happen in that way, because then the pandemic hit in, March of 2020. I had closed all of that, both as a business decision and as sort of a personal life decision. I'd started to grow my family, and I was just spread really thin, had like the wish to focus. So we moved everything online over those months. And then in March of 2020, the pandemic hit. And man, like I remember sitting down with my team, like when we got word, there was kind of the buzz, the shutdown's coming. So we got word that was going to happen like that night or the next day. And so we all sat down and just got our notebooks out and brainstormed on what to do. We put together a live sale, which we had done some live sales back with our second store, The Look, through a system called Comment Sold, off and on. But again, we were going from a point of sale system to a website to a live selling platform. And legit, like there was just a lot of inventory management issues when using multiple systems. And it was difficult to manage. So we decided we were going to do live sales. We were going to start doing a little bit more interactive through our social media platforms. And so we sat down and took everything home, and we went live. I think the shutdown was like on a Wednesday, and I think we went live on Friday, and we went live every Friday after that for a very long time. And we saw a lot of success with it. We reached a lot of customers that maybe couldn't make it into our storefront location during our business hours. We were doing them at 8:00 at night. And we just found some of our existing audience was there. A lot of it was, but we also reached all of these women who we hadn't really been able to reach just through Instagram and Facebook posts, or just through our storefront location. Especially our hours were like 10 to 6, and then on Saturdays as well. So let's see, we had really found a lot of success with the live sales. I actually never reopened Bel fully after that. We were open Fridays from 12 to 4 for about a year. And then I added in Thursdays, and I didn't want to go back to that lifestyle. So my decision was planted in both a business decision um, and a personal choice. I didn't want to have the a retail storefront is a heavy lift, and having, the overhead and the team to keep that running, and then also trying to be present with my family. It was just, I think the pandemic changed things for a lot of us, and I just didn't want to go back to the 6 days a week. You guys know, as small business owners, even when you're not working, and it's always on you, and so it's always on your mind, it's always with you. So I had kind of kept things going until I made the full decision. And then I don't know, last summer, maybe fall, spring, I decided to just be done with the storefront. So in October, I think our last day open as Bel was in September. October, I liquidated a lot of the inventory and the fixtures. I offered curbside through holiday, and then in January, closed the store. One of the things I looked forward to more than anything was moving our entire system onto one platform. So I currently do the majority of my business through live sales on a system called Comment Sold. And so Comment Sold doesn't offer a point of sale, which is what I needed for in-store. So although that is something I think they'll be offering at some point. So through Comment Sold, I was able to host my website, my live sales, and my app. We have an app that you can download. And just having everything on one platform, the simplification that it brought my life and business has been awesome. There's definitely some features that were on some of the other systems that we don't have, but I have found that being in one platform, that benefit outweighs some of the features that we lost. And also the system that I'm on, I thought was the best fit for my business. So I learned this through a whole lot of trial and error. So I just would recommend, if when you go online, really look at what features are going to best serve your business. Look up information on them, reviews, just reach out to people if you possibly can find out people that are using it, and ask questions. Because I have been able to speak to some people in my industry and just say, hey, you don't think of everything until you get into it. One big thing for us was that with gift cards, if you bought a gift card in store, it didn't work online. They wouldn't talk to each other. And then there was just a lot of matching the collections and things that didn't sync, things that you might not think about till you're in the system. So one of my biggest takeaways would be just to do your research and really try to talk to people within the industry who maybe have already had that experience. If you're in my world in any way, I'm happy to offer feedback about specific systems and online platforms that I've used. Because like I said, I haven't even mentioned them all. I've tried quite a few. And this is what I found is the best fit for me. And I also wanted to mention that through the pandemic, the access for small businesses to get online has just, catapulted forward. The features that we have now that we didn't before, it is so much easier to get your product online than it was. And back when I opened the look and I was trying to decide, should we go online? To me, going back online after some of the struggles we had in 2010 it seemed like such a mountain to climb. And now that we just started, we jumped in, it's just so much more manageable. So I just wanted to share that too. If it seems very overwhelming to you, just start. You'd be amazed at how smooth it can be to just get your products online. And, I definitely kind of pushed it off a little longer than I probably should have. And once we got into it, it's like, wow, this is like amazing. Like, this is legit. We can get on here. To me, at one point, it was like, these big stores and you have to have all this big team and you have to do all these things to get online, but it's really at your fingertips these days. I do a ton of my business operations from my cell phone. So anyways, it's pretty cool these days. So yeah, that's my story about Bel, just to kind of give you a little background about my journey. And then that's me before I even opened Bel. So yeah, funny little picture there. Let's see, how do I move next?
I don't think we're seeing we're just seeing like a color,
What do you mean?
like your
We're just seeing
screen.
your wallpaper.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah, we don't
guys.
see your presentation.
My ugly, awful wallpaper. I
Yeah.
am sitting here. I am so sorry.
Maybe you can email that to me and I can email it to everybody.
How do I do that? All right, well, let me come back.
Go back up and click view. It might.
Goodness. View on in Zoom.
In PowerPoint, probably. Because
PowerPoint view.
I don't know why we're just seeing your wallpaper. Like everything you're seeing, we're not seeing. It's weird.
View. It's normal.
What about window?
Window. Presentation to Zoom. No, that's just zoom it in.
You had it full screen?
Yeah, I had it full screen.
Yeah. It's like you got it to share screens, but it won't share what's actually on your screen. I wonder if it's back in those preferences that you clicked.
Multiple.
Like back in the Zoom preference.
My gosh. Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Your computer really wants you safe.
I guess I do. I like ever since like making the transition, I do like two-step authentic. I've had so much fraud. Oh my gosh. Have you guys had that? Like, oh, I feel like everybody's out to get you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you drop ship from the companies that you buy from, or do you keep the stock and ship it?
How do I stop sharing so I can just be okay, so I don't do any drop ship at this time. I have everything passes through my hands right now. I would only like entertain. The other thing was I really wanted that that like omni-channel experience. I will send the slideshow over. I need to see it though, because I need to bring it up because it's my like guideline for what I was talking about. So no, I have not drop shipped.
So you purchase it and then you.
Yeah,
back
when
it
we
up.
had the brick and mortar, I really struggled with if we saw something online and customers came in, our customer was used to everything being through. I would consider it in the future, and that's a great perk to moving online. Like that's an opportunity that I think I maybe wouldn't have taken on before. And then I've over the years found tried and true vendors that I trust their quality and fit. So I would only work on a drop shipping scale with products that I already knew the quality of the vendor. But fortunately, we've established, that was a big thing too, we really established ourselves as a brick and mortar. So making that transition, I can't take away from the fact that we had a lot of exposure from the brick and mortar experience and being downtown too. I mean, the chamber, like we got a lot of support from the community. And that was a big part of who we were. So it did help to do things that way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Question for you. Now, who do you use for shipping to ship your products? And do you pass the cost on to your customers? Do they pay for the shipping or do you pay for it?
That's a big topic, and that's a huge thing that I really had to consider in moving online. Shipping costs are just going up all the time. I currently, because it syncs with comment sold, and I really am about simplicity. I use Go Shippo. I've used different ones like ShipStation and Pirate Ship. I really liked, but Go Shippo syncs with my comment sold, my like website and everything. And I have like a very streamlined fulfillment system now that it's all online. It's very like scan and go. But what I do currently is I offer $5 flat rate shipping. And then if you spend 75, it's free shipping. And that's just what the customer is charged. And then if you place an order within 12 hours, this is a cool feature that my platform offers. You get free shipping for 12 more hours. So that way, if somebody like they buy something and then they could come back and like they're considering something, they can still place an order. And typically within 12 hours, then it's still all going in the package. So, but yeah, that's how I do it.
It's called Go Shippo.
Go Shippo is what I use. I actually think Pirate Ship was slightly cheaper as far as how my rates went, but the simplicity of it syncing to my system, again, outweighed that. So I have debated this, and I think it's a preference thing. It's trial and error, what your customer's willing to do. I have debated rolling the shipping into my product cost. So typically if a product's over a pound, it's around $8. If it's under a pound, a lot of my products also are shipped within Delaware. I still have a strong following and base in Delaware. So those products, sometimes if it's really tiny and small, it's under $5. It's between like $3 and $4. So, I mean, but I'm still paying for packaging, I mean, in store, I would have had tissue and a shopping bag, but here I'm paying for tissue and a poly mailer, and a label. So I feel like it kind of meets the customer halfway. And I do try to recoup some of that cost in my shipping. My girls, that's my Bel girls, my customers, they've kind of gotten used to that. I try to look at my shopping cart abandonment because I know that that's one of the big reasons that people might not check out. So occasionally I'll do a free shipping day and I do see people purchase for that time. So having a small fee does kind of offer a promotional, like when you do free shipping, it kind of creates some excitement. But yeah, that's what I do.
Do you offer local pickup?
So Megan, I don't, because I did until the end of December. I would constantly have people pick local pickup because it was free, but they meant to have it shipped, like people in Nebraska picking that. And then it created a lot of back end work for me to reach out. And then I'd have to send them an invoice and they wouldn't pay the shipping. And it was a lot there. Also, so many customers, a lot of people would have spent over 75, picked in store pickup, and life just gets busy. And they didn't make it during my times. Also, I didn't want to be stuck to, I have to be at a certain place at a certain time for people to pick up. And there would always be leftover packages that they didn't get them. And then I'd have to DM them, do you want to have this shipped? It's just been easier to say, I'll just ship it,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I just, life gets busy and people don't make it when they have good intentions. And right now I'm not doing that. I'm also still getting set up in my space. One of the things that I really loved when I did Bel, on just Fridays, was like, we did our live sales, we shipped the orders Thursdays, and then we were open on Fridays. And it was like that day I knew I was with the customer and I was in the mindset to be with them and like just here for it. Being open 6 days a week with that crazy to-do list, like just sometimes I felt really bogged down and like I wasn't always as present as I'd like to be with the customer, because I'm thinking, you guys know, like think about all the million other things you have to do. So I've wanted in this space that I'm going into to be able to kind of do a little bit more time blocking and not have people like rolling up. I just want to have that time to be able to really dedicate what I'm focusing on, my time to that. But I am excited to do pop-ups just so I can still have that interaction with the customer. And also like be there, like, okay, we're here, we're gonna have like a great time, and this is all we're here for. So I'm really excited for that too.
Did you say that you also do live events, I guess, online?
Yes. So that was the biggest, that has been the biggest, like, I don't know, when we went live starting in the pandemic, we just found a really great following with it. And I don't know, it's come a little bit natural. I'm very comfortable with it. It's funny. I know Megan's on here, and I'm keeping like, oh, I got to do reels and I got to do that. I don't know why I have a block on that, but I don't have going live for me has just been easy. I'll get there with all the other things, I guess. But yeah,
Is that
so
live on Facebook?
yeah,
Or-
so I actually have, okay, so I have a Facebook group called Bel Besties. And then I also have an app. So I originally went live in the group. I've also gone live on my Facebook page. I love going live in my group because I feel very safe there. And that's just me. Like, I can really control, like, I know who's in there. I think I will go live on my actual page a little bit more just to reach a few more people. There's a lot of business in the live selling space anymore. So, and now there's going to be more live selling coming to Instagram and TikTok as well. So I started by going live in my group. And then through Comment Sold, I also have an app. So right now, when I go live, typically I try to be consistent. So Wednesday nights at 8:30, I go live with new arrivals, and I try to mix in different outfits and stuff like that. And you can watch on my app, in our Facebook group, or right on our website. Now, that's because I use a program called Comment Sold, but I have heard that, and I believe it's probably true, Facebook now has its own live selling feature. And I think you get more reach with it because, they know if you're using a third party system, and they're like, we want you to use us. That's my understanding. I still like the features Comment Sold gives me, but yeah, you can go live like right through Facebook now. I don't exactly, you have to have like your Facebook shop set up, I believe, in order to have them purchase that way. But it is, I mean, a great way to share your product with your customer.
Right. Now, you said you do an app. I mean, did you have someone design an app for you, for people to download?
Yep. So again, through Comment Sold, that was something that they offered, and it looks super professional. And when I put something on my website, I can just select to add it to my app. So again, I looked for a system that was super streamlined. I tried another app system that linked through Shopify called Varo. It's like Vajro. And my customers did not like it. I mean, they hated it. They were so mad at me. And it took me like 6 weeks to get switched back over. But they were also used to one system. So anymore, like, there are apps at your fingertips. It's crazy. Like, I never would have thought I'd have an app for my store. Like, to me, that was like just so far away. But you can get an app for your business super easily and for really inexpensive, so it's a pretty cool. And with social media and the algorithms and all that, it's nice, especially like to have another access point to your customer that you have control over.
Do you do text marketing, and do you feel like that's like, or do you feel email works better for you?
Okay, so I do text, Megan, and now I don't utilize it probably enough. I personally, the different things tell you to like text this many times. I try to reserve text for things that are like somebody's really like they want to see this. Because I feel like it's like I don't know, texting somebody, I want it to be really good. So I do it few and far between, like probably only a couple times a month. I honestly haven't even been doing it. I've been paying for it. I pay for a text service. And you get like, if you sign up for a text, you got like a deal, and I do a birthday thing on text. But yeah, I think I get more clicks from text than email, but I see return from both.
No, with the birthday thing, is that your form of rewards program, or do you do one through comments hold?
Okay, so I have on text, that's just, it's like, if you put in the birthday code on your order in your birthday month, I put like a little treat in your bag. It's like a little GWP. But rewards, they have it set up in through my system, through Comment Sold, that I can turn it off and on. So I'll call them like boutique bucks or Bell bucks. And I'll say, okay, for tonight's live, you're going to get 10% on your order. And it automatically adds it. So I use it not like all the time. I'll do it for like a window, and I'll make it different values depending on, what I'm promoting and stuff like that. But I love those because you're not giving them a discount on your new like product. I mean, they might use it on new product later, but yeah. So I don't have a reward system that is like 100% in place. Let me tell you a story. I had my original point of sale system was QuickBooks point of sale. And it was awesome, but it was like downloaded on a Dell computer. It was not cloud-based, it was dinosaur style. And I put in a system, I just started. It was like every time you spent $1,000, you got $20 off or $25 off in the store, right? And some people would get there sooner than others, and some people it might take years. It just depended. But I would put their name in, and then I'd be like, "Oh, you earned a reward today," and like they'd be like, "Really? Awesome!" And it was like I just gave them $20, and they didn't even know they were getting it, which they liked it, but we're here in business. So it was like, I really need to change this system. It also made them feel like, oh man, maybe I need to stop shopping here because I spent $1,000. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. I was terrified to start a reward system. I ran a report years into it at how much I'd given away in rewards, and it was thousands. Like I had given so much in rewards, and they were never even really aware that they were earning it. It was like an added perk. So now I try to utilize it as like, make sure you use your reward or you're going to get this. So you need to, you want to shop tonight so you can get that reward. And then reminding them like, you have a reward to use, come and use it. But my original self really did not think through the rewards until I looked at that report, and I was like, I have given away so much in rewards and I wasn't using it as a marketing tool. So that's how I do it now. So it's pretty cool. And let's see. I feel like I went over so many things. We talked about like text and email, app downloads. I just wanted to say like having multiple ways to reach your customer. So that way, like if, I don't have the brick and mortar. So Megan, I really wanted to get text. Like I wanted to make sure I had people's emails. I wanted to make sure I had app downloads as much as possible so that I had their information to reach them when, they weren't coming into the store anymore. So that was a big thing. And I do a lot. I try to be really consistent. One big thing I'm super consistent is the live sales on Wednesday nights at 8:30, or if for some reason I'm not going live that week, I try to offer something so that they know, and now that I'm in a new space, I'm going to try to have a little bit more offerings, not necessarily product, but like just check-ins and stuff like that, little tips or outfit ideas. on a regular basis. So I'm excited to not be spread so thin with a brick and mortar and an online space so that I can do more within the online space once I get moved in. And
How
settled.
how about outdoor shows?
What's that?
Outdoor shows,
Outdoor.
Like- different events like at Apple Scrapple or something like that. Do you do that?
So I plan to, I'll kind of like pick and choose. That is something that we did when Bell was open. We would go out to different festivals frequently. And it was a little hard because a lot of times they were held on Saturdays. So we also had to keep the store running. So yeah, I'll definitely participate in some stuff like that. And it's such a great way to just, first of all, have a good time, meet people, you know, especially now that we're not seeing everyone's faces on the daily. But yeah, definitely. They're a heavy lift. It was a little easier to do something like that when we had all the product set up in the store. So that was a big thing with brick and mortar. Every product got steamed, hung up, folded, displayed, unpackaged beautifully, you know, to put on store. So when we did a pop up at another location, we just kind of had to take the stuff right off the racks to that space. And now my products stay packaged like ready to ship. So it's almost like a day's work to get everything set up to do a pop up. So it's like I got to really make sure it's going to be worth the time to do it. It isn't quite as easy. I found that out on my first pop-up. So, but that's been a big change. We don't have as much work to do as far as displaying the store, but I now have to make sure that every product is photographed and descriptions are thorough. We do fit videos on all of our products. I get a variety of models that come in. I try to represent different body types. And it's also great because I get the girls' input on style as well. So we get like different views on that. So that is a huge thing for us that I don't even think I had in my notes to mention, but it's another way too for me to connect with our customer. So I do have girls come to me to do try on sessions. We do videos, we post them on Instagram stories, and I can upload those same videos to the products on our website. So that way, if you're shopping for this top, you can see the product description, and a little video with a girl talking about what size she's wearing and how it fits and how she might wear it, where she might wear it to. And that like has been huge, huge, huge for us for sure. That's a big one. Let's see. I was going to talk about shipping costs, but you guys already asked that. I haven't been spending money on marketing, but I plan to. I've been in the midst of getting set up. So I've always done a little, and by that I mean like, so like probably on like Facebook or, you know, all ads and stuff like that. But right now I just do my text, my email, my app. I send notifications that way. I definitely have a lot of, when I post into my group, I seem to get the most sales generated from it. So yeah, those are the big things. And then, so I just, in the transition, I have tried to focus more, speak right to my customer. When I had brick and mortar, I was definitely serving a wider audience, and like, that was great. I could offer a little bit more within those walls. I had a bigger team, but right now I've kind of tried to focus on what we're offering and who we're offering it to that I can really speak to. And I really wanted to say that, like, obviously there are some parts of having the store that are missed. And there's a lot of customers that just really prefer to shop in store. And several of them, a lot of them, because they kind of had that confidence with us and we built that trust, they stuck with us. But some people just want to shop in store, and that's okay. So what I try to do is just offer like good solutions to them of where they can shop, where still serve. I always try to have that like kind of service mentality of, how can I help you find the answer, even if I can't bring it to you? And then hopefully supporting another local business at the same time. The two girls that had worked for Bel for years opened a store in Dover. And so it's been a really cool like opportunity for our existing customers to still shop in store. And it's kind of cool. We have different focuses. So that's been a neat transition as well. It's been fun.
Do you get a lot of returns?
So this is a funny, I do, so we get returns. I think like industry standard wise, we don't get, like, we have a pretty good return rate. I always try to look at returns every single one. I'm like, why? Like, how can we do better so they don't have to return this? But I try to make it as simple as possible. I do a lot of online shopping, and if I don't like something, I want to return it. So I always tell my customer, like, it's no problem. Like, if you don't love it, please send it back, because I'd rather you have what you love than, have something you don't love and then never shop with me again because it was a hassle. So I do have returns. I have some awesome customers. They typically send it back like right away, and always in great condition. So I've had very little problems with returns. But there's more returns, I think, online than probably I had in store when people could try it on,
Mhm.
but I think I just try to figure out how I could have better educated them on what size to get.
Who pays for the return?
So right now, I just do the deduction of the flat rate $5 on the refund. So, if a top was $35, what I do is they can reach out to me and I'll send them a return label that they have to print out to send it back, and then I'll refund $30. So again, kind of meeting in the middle on the return, especially if it was $8 label that I sent them, they kind of make out that way. I do a lot of denim. I have a big following with the denim that we carry right now, and I probably won't do this forever, but if it's denim, I cover the return shipping cost, because I have found that most of my customers, once they try it and figure out their size, they just know their size with the denim, and then they don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I kind of do that with denim just because once you put on our jeans, they're so good. So yeah, that's how I do that. And any other questions? I feel like I didn't say.
Yes, one question. Your platform, you said it's called Comment Sold.
Yeah, it's called Comment Sold, all one word. Definitely check it out. And like I said, you can always reach out to me about anything else. I know, I think that, so what Comment Sold does is I'll go live. I can also just post a picture. I could pre-record a video and post it and have it post to sell. But typically what I do is go live. If they're on the app, it's super easy to shop. If it's on Facebook, they just have to like click a link to register, and then they just comment like the word sold. A little number goes above your head. Through the app does all this, or the platform does all this, even right on Facebook, and you'll be like sold number 3, size small, and you just write like sold 3 small. And it automatically sends them an invoice, and you can choose how much time they have to pay. I pick 2 hours. It gives people time to put their carts together and think about what they want. It doesn't sit in their cart too long. Yeah, and then with that too, there's wait lists. So if somebody chooses not, like if they really want it, but somebody else has it in our cart, or if we restock, if we have a return, it'll notify them when it comes back in stock. So sometimes I get a return, especially if it's a popular item, and as soon as I put it into inventory, it just goes right back out the door because somebody had waitlisted it. But yeah, comment sold. I have a lot of support from the company. The company's been really good to me. Their customer service is really good. So
And is that in your presentation, all those?
I will add it, and then before
Okay.
I send it over. Yeah.
Okay. All the sites that you use that you've had positive.
Yeah. And I really I had a good experience with some of the other ones, but so I'll put those in there as well.
Okay.
But when I came to one spot, I was like, I want to be in one platform where I only have to go one space, to do everything. So, or as much as possible. So I'll
Okay.
definitely put that in there.
And can they contact you by email, or how would you like them to contact you?
Definitely. I also do a lot with DMs, so you can always hit me up on Facebook. I'll put that too. I'll put
Okay.
my links and my contact information. If there's anything, I'll put the, whatever I use.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's it. So we have tonight, we're going live at 8:30 in the new space that we're in, which is a kind of a mess still, but yep. So when I was at Bell, I was living out of cardboard boxes. All the inventory was kind of laid all around, and I'm excited to be set up a little better.
Is this a place you rented or is it at your house?
Okay, so I'm leasing a space. So my parents have some property out in Hartley. And there's a tiny little farmhouse on it that they were gonna rent as a rental. So I'm renting that. It's little, but it's perfect. So there's just 2 little bedrooms. So I have inventory in one space, my office in the other, and then the little living room will be my live selling space. And it's 3 minutes from my house.
I was gonna ask, that's nice that it gets you out of bed, but it's close.
Yes, exactly. And I can park right out front and unload and reload and run home if I need to. Just for my life, it's a lot nicer. Just being able to kind of come and go as I need to. But yeah, so, and you're right, the mindset thing. My house is chaotic. I have 3 small children too, and it's just it's good to enter into space. I know so many people work from home now. I've heard you should always put your shoes on and get dressed for work even when you're at home. No, I'll tell you. Yeah. Oh man.
I worked from home before. You have to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and your shipping, I have another question. And your shipping, do they come to your door and pick it up, the Shippo or Go Shippo?
So no.
Okay.
I think you can schedule a pickup. I have tried to schedule pickups, and I don't know. It depends on your carrier.
I was gonna say it might depend on, because I heard horror stories from it, but then
Yeah.
my lady always is nice.
Yeah, so I just moved into the new space. I had the best mailman because I ship typically USPS unless it's bigger packages. And he checked on me. He was like, "You don't even have to do that." And I actually he gave me I had his text. I used to text him "Hey, can you stop by today?" So he would take things, and if I missed them or wasn't ready, so all my labels ship out, or print out here. So everything's ready to go. And if I miss the mailman, I pull up to the back of the post office. There's a loading dock, and I just set them right there, and I don't have to go inside or anything. And they're always super friendly. So sometimes so after a live sale, I'll have a good amount of orders on Thursdays. And so if he would come at 3 and I wasn't ready yet, I'd stay and get the orders packed, and I'd drop them off at the post office. But I was right downtown, so it wasn't out of my way. So I'll see. I haven't even met the mail carrier here yet. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Does
It is
anyone
nice.
else have questions? Michelle, you have a question or?
Yes, when you go live on your app, or do you go live on Comment Soul, and does it go to your app and Facebook all in one place, or do you
Yeah.
have to go live on each one?
So so I go to like my back end of Comment Sold, like, you know, where I can log in and put in my product and I do all the things. So there's a spot where I go live and I can choose to only go live in the app, to go live on Facebook, to go live in my group, or go live on my website. So I can pick all four. I could pick one, two, you just check which boxes you want to go live in. And then you just look at the video through the Comment Sold platform and it shows all the comments from all the sources on one side. So it's pretty cool too. It also filters out like just sold comments from actual fit questions. So I'll have my laptop up on the side, and it'll have, like, I can see myself, what I'm showing, the product that I'm on, and then all the comments. So I can easily reply to people. Well, I try to, you know, sometimes they go a little fast, but it's all right in there. And then you also can send like a notification to your app right in there. So it's a pretty cool system.
Great, thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. If you're looking into it, please reach out. I'm happy to talk to you more about it, or, you know,
Okay,
any
thank
answers to
you.
any other questions. All right.
Anybody else have a question or? No? Well, Erin, this was great, and I'll watch for your email
Yes, I'll
to
put it
come
together.
through, and I will email everybody all the information that she sends over to me. And like Erin said, reach out to her. And again, I want to thank our sponsors, Trey Sorrell Dolce, I think I got it right, the Putt Putt and Ice Cream Parlor, and La Baguette. They sponsor our coffee coaching every month. And if anyone ever has something that they want to share, feel free to contact me because I'm always looking for people. And thank you, everyone. And sorry for the mess up. I locked us out.
No worries.
All right.
Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful day. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.